Nick, you're awake?
Girls' night, huh?
Nick, I can explain.
You lied. And we're done.
2 months into marriage, and I'm already sleeping alone more nights than not. Riley's got another girls' night out at that new club downtown, Pulse, where the drinks cost more than my hourly wage and the music sounds like someone torturing a synthesizer. Me? I'm Nick Dalton, 38 years old, contractor by trade, and apparently the kind of husband who gets left behind on Friday nights. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. The house feels too quiet without her constant chatter about her co-workers at the tech startup where she works in HR. I should be grateful for the peace, but instead I'm lying here staring at the ceiling, listening to the old pipes groan in the walls. This place has character, I told her when we moved in. She called it a dump that needed work. Same thing, different perspective. My phone buzzes on the nightstand. Cal's name lights up the screen. You awake, Nikki? Cal Henderson's been my best friend since high school. He's the kind of guy who drinks beer for breakfast on Sundays and somehow makes it look sophisticated. If he's calling this late, it's either very good news or very bad news. Yeah, I'm up. What's going on? There's a pause. Background noise, music, voices. He's at a bar. Look, man, I don't know how to say this, so I'm just gonna say it. You need to get down to Pulse. Riley's here. I sit up. So? She said she was going out with Tessa and the girls. Another pause. Longer this time. She's here, Nick, with Evan. The words hit me like a sledgehammer to the chest. Evan, my younger brother, the family screw-up who's been borrowing money and making excuses his whole life. The guy who's supposed to be crashing on our couch until he gets back on his feet. What do you mean with Evan? I mean they're dancing, close dancing, real close. And Nick, they're not acting like family. The phone feels heavy in my hand. My mouth tastes like copper. You sure it's them? Dead sure. I'm looking right at them. They're... Jesus, Nick, I'm sorry, man. I thought you should know. I'm already getting dressed, pulling on jeans and a flannel shirt. My hands are steady, which surprises me. Inside, everything feels like it's breaking apart, but my hands are rock solid. Where are you? Rusty anchor. But Nick, don't do anything stupid. Don't go in there swinging. I'm not going to swing at anybody, Cal. And I mean it. Violence is messy, loud, and leaves evidence. If what Cal's telling me is true, if my wife of 2 months is grinding against my brother on some dance floor while I'm home playing the faithful husband, then I need to be smart about this. I need proof. The drive to Pulse takes 12 minutes. 12 minutes of my mind racing through every conversation, every glance, every moment between Riley and Evan that suddenly makes sense in a new, horrible way. The way she laughed at his jokes that weren't funny. The way he always found excuses to be around when I wasn't home. The way they both got quiet when I walked into rooms. Pulse sits on the corner of Main and 3rd, all neon lights and bass thumping through the walls. There's a line of people waiting to get in, dressed like they're auditioning for a music video. I park across the street and watch the entrance for a few minutes, gathering my thoughts. The bouncer recognizes me. Tommy Ricci used to work construction before he discovered he could make more money checking IDs. Hey, Nick, didn't expect to see you here? Yeah, well, thought I'd check out what all the fuss is about. He waves me past the velvet rope. Inside, the music is deafening and the lights are strobing. The place is packed with bodies moving in ways that would make a priest blush. I work my way through the crowd, staying low, keeping to the edges, and then I see them. Riley's wearing a red dress I've never seen before, something tight and short that shows off every curve. Her blonde hair is down, flowing over her shoulders as she moves. She looks beautiful. She looks happy. She looks like she's in love. With my brother. Evan's hands are on her waist, pulling her close. They're moving together like they've done this before, like they know each other's bodies. His mouth is near her ear, whispering something that makes her throw her head back and laugh. Her hand slides down his chest, fingers playing with the buttons of his shirt. I take out my phone and start recording. They don't notice me. They're too lost in each other, too caught up in whatever fantasy they're living. I get 3 minutes of footage before they head toward the bar, Evan's arm around Riley's shoulders like she belongs to him. I've seen enough. Back in my truck, I sit in the parking lot and watch the video. It's all there. Every touch, every kiss, every lie my marriage was built on. My wife and my brother acting like lovers instead of family. The smart thing to do would be to go home, sleep on it, maybe confront them in the morning when emotions aren't running so high. The smart thing would be to handle this like a mature adult. But I'm not feeling particularly mature right now. Instead, I scroll through my contacts and find Evelyn Marsh, the lawyer who handled the paperwork when I bought the house. She's old school, tough as nails, and keeps office hours that would kill a younger person. More importantly, she answers her phone at midnight. This better be good, Dalton. It is. I need to file for divorce. Tonight. Jesus. What happened? I'll send you a video. How fast can you freeze bank accounts? There's a pause. I can hear her moving around, probably getting dressed. If it's what I think it is, I can have papers filed by morning, joint accounts frozen by noon. You sure about this? I look at the club, at the neon sign flickering against the night sky, at the place where my marriage died. I'm sure. Send me everything you've got. And Nick, don't do anything stupid between now and morning. Define stupid. Anything that involves your fists or a weapon. Then we're good. I send her the video and drive home. The house is still empty, still quiet. Evan's stuff is scattered around the living room, his jacket on the couch, his shoes by the door, his laptop on the coffee table. Evidence of the life he's been living in my space while he screwed my wife. I don't touch anything. Not yet. Instead, I go down to my workshop in the basement and start planning. If Riley and Evan want to play games, I'll play games. But I'll play to win. The thing about being underestimated your whole life is that people forget you're paying attention. They forget you're smart. They forget you're capable of more than swinging a hammer and reading blueprints. They're about to learn different. Riley comes home at 3:17 in the morning. I know because I'm sitting in the kitchen, drinking coffee and watching the clock. She tries to be quiet, slipping off her heels in the hallway, but the old floorboards betray her. Nick, you awake? Her voice is slightly slurred. She's been drinking, but not enough to explain away what I saw. In here. She appears in the kitchen doorway, still wearing that red dress. Her makeup is smeared, her hair messed up. She looks like exactly what she is. Why are you up so late? Couldn't sleep. How was girls' night? The lie comes so easily to her, it's almost impressive. Oh, you know, same old thing. Tessa got too drunk. We had to pour her into an Uber. I should probably shower and get to bed. Where's Evan? The question stops her cold. For just a second, her mask slips, and I see something like panic flash across her face. How would I know? Probably at some bar. You know how he is. Yeah, I know exactly how he is. She's studying my face now, trying to read my expression. I keep it neutral, give her nothing. You okay? You seem, I don't know, off. Just tired. Go get your shower. She hesitates for a moment, then leans down to kiss my forehead. Her lips are cold, and she smells like another man's cologne. Love you, she whispers. Sure you do. She doesn't catch the sarcasm, or pretends not to. After she goes upstairs, I hear the shower running. I use the time to make copies of the video, uploading it to 3 different cloud storage accounts. Evidence has a way of disappearing when people get desperate. Evan stumbles in 20 minutes later, using his key like he owns the place. He's drunk enough to be clumsy, but sober enough to be guilty. When he sees me sitting at the kitchen table, he freezes. Oh, hey, Nick. Didn't know you were up. Seems like a lot of that going around tonight. He heads for the refrigerator, grabbing a beer like it's the most natural thing in the world, like he hasn't spent the evening with his hands all over my wife. How was your night? I ask. Pretty boring. Went to Murphy's, had a few beers, watched the game. Murphy's pub. Interesting choice for an alibi, considering Murphy's has been closed for renovations all week. Good game? Yeah, real good. Sox won in extra innings. The Red Sox played this afternoon, and they lost. Well, I'm heading to bed, I tell him. Try to keep it down. Sure thing, bro. Bro. The word tastes like poison. Upstairs, Riley is already in bed, pretending to sleep. Her breathing is too controlled, too even. She's listening, waiting to see if I suspect anything. I lie down beside her, staring at the ceiling until morning comes. At 7 a.m., my phone rings. Evelyn. It's done. Divorce papers filed, joint accounts frozen as of 30 minutes ago. She'll get served at work today. You sure you want to do this fast and hard? Absolutely. Good, because there's no going back after this. You're about to turn her world upside down. She turned mine upside down first. Fair enough. One more thing. I'm sending a locksmith to your house at 10. Change all the locks, front and back. She'll have 24 hours to collect her personal items, supervised by a sheriff's deputy. What about Evan? What about him? It's your house. You want him gone? Tell him to get gone. After I hang up, I get dressed for work. Riley's still in bed, and Evan is passed out on the couch. They look peaceful, innocent. It's amazing how different people look when you know who they really are. I leave a note on the kitchen counter. Gone to work, back tonight. We need to talk. Let them wonder what that means. The job site is a new subdivision on the north side of town, cookie-cutter houses for people with more money than sense. I've got a crew of 6 guys, all good workers who've been with me for years. They can tell something's wrong, but they know better than to ask. Around noon, my phone starts buzzing. Riley, calling from work. Nick, what the hell is going on? There's a man here with papers and my credit card just got declined at lunch. We need to talk. Talk about what? Nick, you're scaring me. The fear in her voice should make me feel guilty. Instead, it makes me feel powerful. I'll be home at 6. We'll talk then. But Nick... I hang up. 20 minutes later, Evan calls. Dude, what's happening? Riley called me crying, saying something about divorce papers and frozen accounts. This is crazy, right? Like, you guys just got married. Where are you calling from? Work. I'm at the garage. Nick, talk to me, man. What's going on? The garage. Evan works part-time at Martinez Auto Repair when he bothers to show up. I make a mental note. Nothing's going on that shouldn't be going on. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't it? Silence on the other end. He's thinking, trying to figure out how much I know. Look, whatever's happening between you and Riley, leave me out of it, okay? I'm just trying to get back on my feet. Oh, you're definitely going to be left out of it. Way out of it. I hang up before he can respond. At 5:30, I drive home. There's a sheriff's cruiser in my driveway and a locksmith's van at the curb. Perfect timing. Deputy Martinez, no relation to the garage owner, is standing on my front porch with Riley. She's been crying, her face red and puffy. When she sees me, she runs over. Nick, please. Whatever I did, we can fix this. We can work it out. Can we? Can we really? Yes, I love you. I know I haven't been the best wife, but I'm trying. I'm learning. What exactly are you learning, Riley? She looks confused, desperate. How to be married. How to make you happy. How to make this work. Interesting. Because I've been learning things too. I pull out my phone and show her the video. Her face goes white. Where did you get this? Does it matter? Nick, I can explain. I'm sure you can, but I don't want to hear it. Evan's truck pulls into the driveway. He gets out slowly, looking at the sheriff's car, the locksmith, Riley's tear-stained face. When he sees the phone in my hand, he knows. Nick, listen. No, you listen, both of you. This is how it's going to work. Riley, you have 24 hours to get your stuff out of my house. Personal items only. Anything you bought together stays here. Nick, please. Evan, you have until tomorrow morning. After that, you're trespassing. Bro, come on. It's not what it looks like. I walk over to him, close enough that he has to look up at me. Evan's always been shorter, smaller, weaker. Right now, he looks like a scared kid. Don't call me bro. Brothers don't do what you did. What I did? What did I do? I show him the video. He watches himself dancing with my wife, kissing my wife, touching my wife like she belongs to him. It was just dancing, he says weakly. Just dancing? Yeah, we were drunk, and the music was loud, and it didn't mean anything. Really? Because it looks like it meant everything. Riley is sobbing now, ugly, desperate sobs. Nick, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. It was a mistake, it didn't mean anything. I love you. You love me? Yes. Then why were you screwing my brother? The words hang in the air like a slap. Deputy Martinez clears his throat. Mr. Dalton, I need to supervise the collection of personal items. How long do you want to give them? 1 hour. And deputy? Make sure they don't take anything that belongs to me. I turn and walk into my house. My house, not our house anymore, leaving them standing in the driveway with their guilt and their excuses and their tears. The locksmith is already working on the front door. How long? I ask him. 20 minutes for both locks. You want deadbolts? The best you've got. Through the window, I watch Riley and Evan talking in urgent whispers, planning their next move, probably, trying to figure out how to salvage this mess. They're about to learn that some messes can't be cleaned up. They're about to learn that some bridges, once burned, can never be rebuilt. And they're about to learn that Nick Dalton, the underestimated contractor, the quiet husband, the reliable brother, is done being taken for granted. The real show is just getting started. Word travels fast in a town this size. By Monday morning, half the people at Murphy's Diner are staring at me like I'm either a victim or a villain. The other half are pretending not to stare while straining to catch every word of my conversation with Cal. So what's the plan? Cal asks, cutting into his pancakes. He's the kind of friend who doesn't waste time on sympathy when action is what's needed. No plan, just living my life. Bullshit. I know that look. You had that same look in high school when Tommy Morrison kept picking on you right before you put him through the gym wall. I didn't put him through the wall. I put him into the wall. There's a difference. Semantics. Point is, you're planning something. I sip my coffee and watch Mrs. Henderson from the hardware store lean closer to her breakfast companion, clearly discussing my situation. In a town of 8,000 people, divorce is entertainment. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But if I was, hypothetically speaking, what would you think about a little public education? What kind of education? The kind that teaches people about consequences. Cal grins. He's always enjoyed a good show. Hypothetically speaking, I'd say that sounds like something worth watching. Hypothetically speaking, you might want to make sure you're at the Harvest Festival this weekend. The Harvest Festival is Pine Ridge's biggest social event of the year. 3 days of food vendors, live music, and small-town politics played out under carnival tents. Everyone goes, everyone sees, everyone talks. Perfect. I spend the week working, acting normal, letting Riley and Evan think maybe I'm going to let this slide. Riley's been staying with her friend Tessa, calling me twice a day with apologies and promises. Evan moved back in with our parents, which means Mom's been calling too, trying to play peacemaker. Nicholas, I don't know what happened between you boys, but family is family. Is it, Mom? Of course it is. Evan made a mistake, but he's your brother, and Riley's a sweet girl. Maybe you're being too hasty. Too hasty. Like I caught them holding hands instead of grinding against each other on a dance floor. Maybe I'm being exactly hasty enough. Think about what your father would say. Dad's been dead 3 years, but Mom still uses him as moral authority when she wants to win an argument. Dad would say that a man who doesn't respect himself doesn't deserve respect from anyone else. Your father would say that forgiveness is divine. Divine, maybe, but I'm not feeling particularly holy these days. Thursday evening, I get an unexpected visitor. Tessa Brennan, Riley's best friend and workout partner, shows up at my door looking like she's dressed for a business meeting. Tessa's the kind of woman who turns fitness into a religion and judges everyone else for their lack of devotion. We need to talk, Nick. Do we? Riley's a mess. She's not eating, barely sleeping. She made a mistake, but she doesn't deserve this. What exactly does she deserve? A chance to explain, a chance to make things right. I invite her in, pour her a cup of coffee she doesn't want, and let her make her case. It's entertaining in a pathetic way. Look, I know how this looks, but you don't understand the whole situation. Enlighten me. Riley's been struggling with the marriage, not because she doesn't love you, but because she's scared. She's never been married before, and she doesn't know how to handle the pressure. So she decided to handle my brother instead? Tessa flinches. It wasn't like that. She was drunk, confused, and Evan was being... Evan. You know how he is with women. Yeah, I know exactly how he is with women. I just didn't know my wife was going to be one of them. She didn't sleep with him. How do you know? Because she told me. They kissed, they danced, but that's all. She came to her senses before anything really happened. Really? Because I've got video that suggests otherwise. Video of what? Dancing? Kissing? That's not adultery, Nick. That's just poor judgment. Poor judgment is forgetting to take out the trash. This is betrayal. Tessa sets down her coffee cup and leans forward. You want to destroy your marriage over one night of poor judgment? I want to destroy my marriage over one night of truth. Riley showed me who she really is. I'm just paying attention. You're being cruel. Am I? Or am I being realistic? She leaves after that, frustrated and defeated. I watch her drive away and make a mental note to check with Evelyn about community property laws. If Tessa's involved in this mess, she might be more involved than she's letting on. Friday night, I go to the Rusty Anchor. It's crowded, smoky, and full of people who've known me since I was 16. These are my people, construction workers, mechanics, waitresses, and retirees who've earned their opinions through hard experience. Cal's holding court at the bar, telling anyone who'll listen about the divorce. I seen it myself, he's saying to a group of regulars. Riley and that worthless brother of his, grinding on each other like they were auditioning for a porn movie. No shit? This from Jimmy Kowalski, who drives truck for the lumberyard. No shit. Poor Nick's at home thinking his wife's having girls' night and she's out there acting like a 20-year-old slut. Jesus, that's cold. Coldest thing I ever seen. And Evan? That little weasel's been living in Nick's house, eating Nick's food, sleeping on Nick's couch while he's planning to steal Nick's wife. I slide onto a bar stool next to Cal. You telling stories about me? Just sharing the facts, brother. People got a right to know what kind of people they're dealing with. The conversation continues around me, growing more elaborate with each retelling. By the time last call comes around, Riley's been transformed from unfaithful wife to scheming whore, and Evan's gone from weak brother to calculating predator. I don't correct anyone. Truth is truth, even when it gets dressed up for entertainment. Saturday morning dawns, clear and cold, perfect weather for the Harvest Festival. I put on my best jeans and a flannel shirt Riley bought me for my birthday, back when she was pretending to care about my preferences. The festival grounds are already crowded when I arrive. Families with strollers, teenagers in groups, older couples walking hand in hand. Normal people living normal lives, unaware that they're about to witness a master class in public humiliation. I spot Riley first. She's working a booth for her company, handing out promotional materials and trying to look professional. She's lost weight, and there are dark circles under her eyes. Guilt and stress are not kind to the complexion. Evan's at the beer tent laughing with a group of guys I don't recognize. He's wearing a new shirt and expensive sunglasses, looking like he doesn't have a care in the world. Time to change that. I buy a beer and wander over to the company booth. Riley sees me coming and her face lights up with hope. "Nick, I didn't know you were coming. Wouldn't miss it. How's business?" "Good, really good. We're signing up a lot of new clients." She's nervous, talking too fast, trying to read my mood. "That's great. I'm happy for you." "Are you? Really?" "Sure, everyone deserves to succeed at something." The comment hits its mark. Her smile falters. "Nick, about what happened. What happened is what happened, no point dwelling on it. But I want to explain." "Nothing to explain. You made your choice, I made mine." I walk away, leaving her standing there with her promotional materials and her confusion. Phase 1 complete. Phase 2 requires Evan. I find him at the beer tent, holding court with his new friends. They're younger guys, probably from the gym where he pretends to be a personal trainer between real jobs. "Hey, bro," he calls out when he sees me. "Didn't expect to see you here." "Really? This is my town. Where else would I be? I just thought, with everything that's been going on." "What's been going on?" The question catches him off guard. His friends are listening now, sensing drama. The divorce and all." "Oh, that. Yeah, that's been interesting." I order a beer and turn to his friends. "You guys know Evan well?" "Pretty well," one of them says. "We work out together." "That's great. Family's important. Evan's my brother, you know." "Yeah, he mentioned that." "Did he mention why I'm getting divorced?" Silence. Evan's face is turning red. "Nick, don't." "Don't what? Don't tell the truth? These are your friends, right? Friends should know who they're hanging around with." "Nick, please." "Please what? Please don't mention that you were screwing my wife." The words carry in the sudden quiet. Conversations stop at nearby tables. Heads turn. "It wasn't like that," Evan says weakly. "No? What was it like? Because I've got video of you two at Pulse and it looked pretty much exactly like that." One of his friends steps back, literally distancing himself from the drama. "Dude, is that true?" "It's complicated," Evan says. "Is it? Seems pretty simple to me. My brother decided he wanted my wife more than he wanted my respect. So he took her. Or tried to." "Nick, stop." "Why?" "You didn't stop. You didn't stop when you were dancing with her. You didn't stop when you were kissing her. You didn't stop when you were planning to break up my marriage so you could have what was mine. She's not property." "No, she's not. But marriage vows are contracts, and you helped her break her contract." The crowd is growing. Word spreads fast at small-town festivals, and nothing draws a crowd like family drama played out in public. "You want to know what kind of man my brother is?" I address the growing audience. "He's the kind of man who lives in your house, eats your food, sleeps on your couch, and screws your wife behind your back. He's the kind of man who looks you in the eye every morning and lies about where he was the night before." "That's enough," Evan shouts. "Is it?" "Because I don't think it is. I think people have a right to know who they're dealing with. I think Riley's co-workers should know what kind of person she really is. I think your friends should know what kind of person you really are." "You're being an asshole." "Am I? Or am I being honest for the first time in months?" Evan swings at me. It's a wild, desperate punch thrown by a man who's run out of options. I see it coming from a mile away and step aside. He stumbles, off balance, and falls into a table full of beer cups. The crowd gasps. Someone laughs. Evan struggles to his feet, soaked in beer and humiliation. "Feel better?" I ask him. He doesn't answer. He pushes through the crowd and disappears into the maze of festival booths. I turn to his friends. "Sorry you had to see that. Family drama, you know how it is." They nod awkwardly and drift away, probably already texting other people about what they just witnessed. I finish my beer and head home, satisfied with the day's work. By Sunday morning, the story has grown legs. I hear 3 different versions of it at the hardware store, each more dramatic than the last. In one version, Evan threw the first punch. In another, Riley was there and started crying. In the third, I knocked Evan unconscious with 1 hit. I don't correct any of them. Truth is negotiable. Reputation is permanent. And I'm just getting started. Monday morning brings an unexpected visitor to the job site. Detective Ray Grant, Pine Ridge PD, and an old friend from high school. Ray's the kind of cop who actually gives a damn about the community, which makes him both effective and occasionally annoying. Nick, got a minute? I set down my nail gun and walk over to his cruiser, away from my crew. What's up, Ray? Had a complaint filed against you? Harassment, public disturbance, that sort of thing. Really? Who filed it? Your brother. Says you've been stalking him, threatening him, trying to ruin his reputation. I almost laugh. Stalking him? Ray, I live in a town of 8,000 people. I can't go to the grocery store without running into half the people I went to high school with. That's what I told him, but he seems to think you're deliberately showing up places he's going to be. Like where? The festival, Murphy's Diner, the Rusty Anchor. Those are public places, Ray. I've been going to Murphy's for breakfast twice a week for 15 years. I've been drinking at the Anchor since I was 21. And the festival? Come on. Ray nods, making notes in a small pad. That's what I figured, but I had to ask. He also says you've been spreading lies about him around town. What lies? Says you're telling people he slept with your wife. Is that a lie? Did he sleep with your wife? I don't know, but I've got video of them together that sure makes it look like they were planning to. I show Ray the video on my phone. He watches it twice, his expression growing more disgusted each time. Jesus, Nick. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, life's full of surprises. You want to press charges? Public lewdness, maybe? Adultery's still on the books in this state. No, I want them to live with what they did. Prison would be too easy. Ray closes his notepad. Look, I can't tell you how to handle your personal business, but be careful. Evan's scared and scared people do stupid things. What kind of stupid things? The kind that get people arrested. Or hurt. After Ray leaves, I think about what he said. Evan's scared. Good. He should be scared, but Ray's right about one thing. Scared people are unpredictable. That evening, I drive by Evan's new apartment. It's a shithole complex on the wrong side of town, the kind of place where the rent's cheap because the neighbors are loud and the parking lot's full of broken glass. His truck is parked outside Unit 12, and I can see lights on through the thin curtains. I don't stop. I don't get out. I just drive by, slow enough to see, fast enough to avoid suspicion. But Evan must be watching, because 20 minutes later, my phone rings. Stay away from me, Nick. I don't know what you're talking about. You drove by my apartment. Did I? I drive by a lot of places. It's a small town. I know what you're doing. You're trying to intimidate me. Are you intimidated? I'm not afraid of you. Good. You shouldn't be afraid of me. You should be afraid of yourself. What's that supposed to mean? It means you're the one who screwed up, Evan. You're the one who betrayed family. You're the one who has to live with what you did. I didn't do anything. Keep telling yourself that. Maybe someday you'll believe it. I hang up and go back to planning. Wednesday night, I'm at the Rusty Anchor with Cal when Evan walks in. He's with 2 guys I don't recognize, both bigger than him, both looking like they're ready for trouble. They take a table in the corner and order beer, but they keep glancing over at me. Friends of yours? Cal asks. Never seen them before. They look like muscle. Yeah, they do. Cal finishes his beer and stands up. I'm going to the bathroom. If anything happens while I'm gone, try not to bleed on my jacket. He leaves me sitting at the bar, nursing a whiskey and watching Evan's table in the mirror behind the bottles. One of the big guys keeps checking his phone like he's waiting for instructions. After 20 minutes, they get up to leave. As they pass my bar stool, one of them bumps into me, hard enough to spill my drink. "Sorry about that," he says, not sounding sorry at all. "No problem," I reply, not moving from my seat. "You're Nick Dalton, right?" "That's right." "I'm Marcus, this is Tony. We're friends of Evan's." "Good for you." "He says you've been giving him trouble." "Does he?" "Says you've been harassing him, following him around." Evan says a lot of things. Most of them aren't true. Marcus leans closer, trying to intimidate me with his size. "Maybe you should find a new hobby. Maybe you should find new friends." "That a threat?" "It's advice. Evan's got a history of getting people into situations they can't handle. We can handle ourselves. I'm sure you can. Question is, can you handle the consequences?" Tony, the quiet one, finally speaks up. "What consequences?" "The kind that come from getting involved in other people's family business. See, Evan's not just some guy getting picked on. He's a guy who got caught screwing his brother's wife. That makes him a special kind of asshole. And people who help special kinds of assholes tend to become special kinds of assholes themselves." "You threatening us?" "I'm educating you. There's a difference." Marcus straightens up, trying to look tough. "Stay away from Evan." "Or what?" "Or we'll make you stay away." I stand up slowly, deliberately. I'm not as big as Marcus, but I'm bigger than he expected, and I can see the doubt creeping into his eyes. "Let me explain something to you boys. This is my town. I've lived here my whole life. I know everyone and everyone knows me. You want to start something with me, that's your choice. But understand that whatever you start, I'll finish. Big talk, not talk. Promise." They leave after that, but I know this isn't over. Evan's escalating, bringing in outside help. That means he's either more desperate than I thought, or more dangerous. Thursday night, I'm working late at a job site on the north side of town. New construction, a house for some rich couple from Boston who want to play country living on the weekends. The place is isolated, surrounded by woods, no neighbors for half a mile in any direction. Perfect place for a private conversation. I'm packing up my tools when I hear a truck pull into the driveway. Then another. Car doors slam, footsteps crunch on gravel. "Nick, we know you're in there." Evan's voice, slurred with alcohol and courage. I look out the window and see 3 figures silhouetted against the headlights. Evan and his 2 new friends come to deliver whatever message they think needs delivering. "Come on out, Nick. Time to talk." I consider my options. I could call Ray, but by the time he gets here, this will be over one way or another. I could try to leave, but they've blocked the driveway with their trucks. Or I could go out there and end this once and for all. I choose option 3. "Evening, boys," I say, stepping onto the front porch. "Little late for a social call, isn't it?" "We need to talk," Evan says. "So talk." "Not here. Too public." "Public?" "Evan, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody around for miles." "That's the point." Marcus and Tony spread out, flanking me. Classic intimidation tactic. Probably something they learned from watching movies. "You boys watch a lot of TV?" I ask. "What?" "The way you're positioning yourselves. Very dramatic, very amateur." "Shut up and listen," Marcus says. "I'm listening." Evan steps forward, trying to look confident. "This harassment stops now. The stalking, the public humiliation, all of it. You leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone." "What about Riley?" "What about her?" "You going to leave her alone too?" "That's between me and her." "No, Evan. It's between me and her. You're just the asshole who got in the middle." "She doesn't want you anymore, Nick. She wants me." "Does she? Because last I heard, she was begging me to take her back." "That's because she feels guilty. But guilt fades. Love doesn't." "You think she loves you?" "I know she does." "Interesting. because I think she's using you to get back at me for divorcing her. I think when this is all over, she'll dump you just like she dumped her marriage vows. You don't know what you're talking about. Don't I? Tell me, Evan, how much money has she borrowed from you since she moved out? How many times has she canceled plans because she was too upset to see you? How often does she talk about our marriage when you're together? The questions hit their mark. I can see the doubt creeping into his eyes. She's been through a lot. She's been through a lot? What about me? What about what I've been through? You'll get over it. Will I? Or will I spend the rest of my life making sure you don't get over it? Is that a threat? It's a promise. You want to play games? We'll play games. But understand the rules. I'm smarter than you. I'm more patient than you. And I've got a lot less to lose than you do. Marcus steps forward. Maybe we should teach him some respect. Maybe you should teach yourself some common sense, I reply. What's that supposed to mean? It means you're standing on private property, making threats against the owner. It means there are security cameras recording this whole conversation, and it means that if you lay one finger on me, you'll be explaining it to a judge. It's a bluff. There are no cameras, but they don't know that. You're lying. Am I? Look around. New construction, expensive neighborhood, rich clients who are paranoid about security. You really think they'd leave a job site unprotected? They look around, suddenly uncertain. Even if there are cameras, Tony says, it's 3 against 1. Is it? Because I count it as 3 idiots against one guy who knows what he's doing. I step off the porch, moving toward them instead of away. It's a calculated risk, but intimidation works both ways. Here's what's going to happen, I tell them. You're going to get in your trucks and drive away. You're going to leave me alone, and you're going to tell Evan to leave me alone. And if you don't, if you keep playing these little games, I'm going to make your lives very unpleasant. How? Use your imagination. We stand there for a moment, sizing each other up. Then Marcus nods to the others. This isn't over. Yes, it is. You just don't know it yet. They leave, but I know they'll be back. Men like that don't give up easily, especially when their pride's been hurt. But that's fine. I've been underestimated before. It usually works out in my favor. Friday morning brings news that changes everything. Evelyn calls me at 6 a.m., her voice tight with controlled anger. Nick, we need to meet. Now. What's wrong? I'll tell you when you get here. My office, 30 minutes. Evelyn's office is downtown, above the hardware store, in a building that's older than most of the people in town. She's waiting for me with a pot of coffee and a manila folder thick with papers. Sit down, she says. This is going to piss you off. More than I already am? Much more. She slides the folder across her desk. Inside are bank statements, credit reports, and legal documents I don't recognize. Riley's been busy, Evelyn says. While you've been focused on her affair with Evan, she's been setting up a different kind of betrayal. What do you mean? I mean she's been planning this divorce longer than you think. Look at the dates on these credit applications. I scan the papers. Credit cards, personal loans, a line of credit against the house, all applied for weeks before I caught her at Pulse. She knew I was going to find out. She knew, or she was planning to leave anyway and wanted to make sure she got her share of the assets first. Her share? She contributed maybe 10% to the down payment on that house. Doesn't matter. Maine's a community property state. But here's the interesting part. Look at who co-signed for some of these loans. I flip through the papers until I find the signature lines. Evan's name is on half of them. They've been planning this together. Gets better, or worse, depending on your perspective. Check out the last page. The last page is a rental agreement for an apartment in Portland, signed by both Riley and Evan, dated 3 weeks ago. They were going to run off together? Looks like it. Take the money, liquidate what they could, and start fresh in the big city. I sit back in my chair, processing this new information. It's one thing to catch your wife cheating. It's another thing to realize she's been planning to rob you blind in the process. There's more, Evelyn says. I hired a private investigator to look into their finances. Turns out Evan's got debts you wouldn't believe. Gambling, mostly. He owes some very unpleasant people a lot of money. How much? $47,000. Jesus. It gets worse. The people he owes aren't the patient type. They've been pressuring him for payment, and he's been stalling. My guess is he convinced Riley to help him get the money, probably told her some sob story about being in trouble. And she believed him? She wanted to believe him. Big difference. I think about Evan's new friends, Marcus and Tony. Suddenly they make more sense. The guys he brought to threaten me, they're not his friends. Probably not. Probably muscle sent by his creditors to make sure he doesn't skip town without paying. So I'm not the only one who wants to hurt him. Not by a long shot, but you're the only one who's legally entitled to. Evelyn pours herself another cup of coffee and leans back in her chair. So what do you want to do about it? What are my options? Legally? We can file charges for fraud, theft, conspiracy. We can freeze their assets, garnish their wages, make their lives very difficult. And unofficially? Unofficially, we can let them hang themselves. How? We let them think they're getting away with it. We let them make their move, and then we spring the trap. I like the sound of that. What kind of trap? The kind that ruins them both, publicly and permanently. We spend the next hour planning. It's devious, elaborate, and completely legal. More importantly, it's the kind of revenge that fits the crime. Public, humiliating, and permanent. That evening, I call Riley. Nick? Oh my God, I'm so glad you called. I've been hoping we could talk. We can talk. I've been thinking about what you said, about working things out. Really? You mean it? The hope in her voice is pathetic. I mean it, but not over the phone. Can you meet me somewhere? Anywhere. When? Tomorrow night. The Riverside Motel, room 12. 8 o'clock. The motel? Why there? Because I don't want to do this in public. Too many people know our business already. Okay, yes, I'll be there. Come alone, Riley. Of course. After I hang up, I call Evan. What do you want? I want to talk, man to man. About what? About ending this. I'm tired of fighting. You should be tired. You can't win. Maybe not, but I can make everyone lose. Is that what you want? Silence on the other end. What are you proposing? A meeting. Tomorrow night, Riverside Motel, room 12, 8:30. Why there? Because it's neutral ground, and because I don't want our family business spread all over town. I'll think about it. Don't think too long, Evan. This offer expires at midnight. He calls back an hour later. Okay, I'll be there. Good. And Evan? Come alone. What about Riley? What about her? Is she going to be there? Why would she be there? I just thought, never mind. I'll see you tomorrow. Perfect. They're both coming and neither one knows about the other. Saturday evening, I arrive at the Riverside Motel at 7:30. It's the kind of place that rents rooms by the hour and doesn't ask questions about who's paying. Perfect for what I have in mind. Room 12 is on the ground floor facing the parking lot. I've arranged for Cal to be in the room next door with a video camera and for Evelyn to be waiting in the office with the motel manager. Everything's been planned down to the minute. Riley arrives first, at exactly 8 o'clock. She's dressed up, wearing makeup and perfume like this is a date instead of a confrontation. She knocks on the door softly. Nick? It's me. I let her in. The room is small, shabby, with a bed that's seen better decades and carpet that's seen better years. This place is awful, she says. It serves its purpose. Which is what? Privacy. Sit down, Riley. We need to talk. She sits on the edge of the bed, looking nervous but hopeful. I'm so glad you called. I've been going crazy, thinking you'd never forgive me. Forgiveness is complicated. But possible? Maybe. Depends on how honest you're willing to be. I'll tell you anything you want to know. Good. Let's start with the credit cards. Her face goes white. What credit cards? The ones you applied for using our joint credit. The ones you've been using to pay for your new apartment in Portland. I don't know what you're talking about. Really? Because I have copies of all the applications, with your signature and Evan's. She starts crying, but they're not tears of remorse. They're tears of frustration at being caught. Nick, I can explain. I'm sure you can. But first, let's wait for your partner to arrive. Partner? What partner? There's a knock at the door. 8:30, right on time. That partner. I open the door and Evan walks in, stopping short when he sees Riley. What the hell is she doing here? Sitting in on our business meeting, I tell him. This isn't what we agreed on. No, it's not, but it's what's happening. Riley stands up, confused and angry. You told me you wanted to work things out. I lied. And you told me you wanted to end the fighting, Evan says. I lied about that too. They look at each other, then at me, finally beginning to understand that they've been played. What do you want? Riley asks. I want the truth, all of it, starting with how long you've been planning to rob me. We weren't robbing you, Evan says. No? What would you call it? We were protecting ourselves. From what? From you. From your revenge, your harassment, your need to destroy everyone who doesn't worship you. Interesting perspective. Riley, is that how you see it? She's looking back and forth between us, trying to figure out which way to jump. I was scared, she says finally. Scared of what you'd do when you found out about us. So you decided to steal my money before I could stop you? It wasn't stealing. It was survival. Survival? You were planning to run away together, start fresh in Portland with money you stole from me. How is that survival? Because we love each other, Evan shouts. Do you? Riley, do you love Evan? Yes, I think so. You think so? It's complicated. No, it's not. Either you love him or you don't. Either you're willing to throw away your marriage for him or you're not. I am. I was. She's falling apart, and Evan can see it. Riley, don't let him get in your head. Get in her head? Evan, I don't need to get in her head. I just need to tell her the truth. What truth? The truth about why you really wanted her to help you steal my money. I pull out the investigator's report and hand it to Riley. $47,000, Riley. That's how much your boyfriend owes to some very dangerous people. That's why he seduced you. That's why he convinced you to help him rob me. Not because he loves you, but because he needed the money to save his own ass. She reads the report, her face growing paler with each page. Is this true? She asks Evan. It's not what it looks like. It looks like you owe a fortune to loan sharks. I can explain. Then explain. I got in over my head with some gambling debts, but I was going to pay them back. With my money? With our money. Nick's money. He owes us. He owes us? For what? For being a selfish bastard who never appreciated what he had. Riley looks at him like she's seeing him for the first time. You used me. I love you. You used me to steal from my husband. Ex-husband, and it wasn't stealing. What was it then? Justice. She slaps him, hard. The sound echoes in the small room. You bastard, you lying, manipulative bastard. Riley, listen to me. No, I'm done listening to you. I'm done listening to both of you. She heads for the door, but I block her path. Where are you going? Home, away from this mess. What home? You gave up your home when you decided to cheat on your marriage? Then I'll find a new home. With what money? Your credit's ruined, your job's in jeopardy, and your family thinks you're a whore. What exactly are you going to do? She starts crying again, real tears this time. I don't know. I know what you're going to do. You're going to face the consequences of your choices, both of you. What consequences? Evan asks. The legal kind. Fraud, theft, conspiracy. Evelyn's already filed the papers. You can't prove anything. Can't I? I pull out my phone and show them the recording app that's been running since they arrived. 47,000 in gambling debts, Evan. Conspiracy to commit fraud, Riley. Your confession that you were planning to steal my money and run away together. I think that's plenty of proof. They look at each other, then at me, finally understanding the depth of the trap they've walked into. What do you want? Riley asks. I want you to disappear, both of you. Leave town, leave me alone, and never come back. And if we don't, then I'll destroy you. Publicly, legally, and permanently. There's a knock at the door. Evelyn's voice. Nick? Everything all right in there? Fine. We're just finishing up. I open the door. Evelyn standing there with Detective Grant and 2 other officers. Riley Dalton, Evan Dalton, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit fraud. The rest happens quickly. Handcuffs, rights read, perp walks to the police cars. I watch from the motel room doorway as my wife and brother are driven away in separate squad cars. Feel better? Evelyn asks. Ask me tomorrow. But I already know the answer. Justice isn't the same as satisfaction, but sometimes it's close enough.